Guys, it's Damien from Marketing Food Online. I hope you guys are having another great day as always. So in this video, I'm going to give you two different ways to sell your food product to these two different types of industries. And the great thing about it is it can bring you a ridiculous amount of money. So let me get right into it right now on Marketing Food Online. All right, so as I mentioned in the introduction, I'm going to give you two different methods of selling your food product. And I'm actually going to do it in two separate videos because I want to focus specifically on each individual industry. And what brought me up to this idea was that a few years ago when I actually had started on Etsy.com, believe it or not, I actually got a contact from an event planner. This was a company that does events, and they do a lot of corporate events. They do also weddings. They do pretty much any type of event. But event planners actually are a great opportunity for you guys to get your food product out there. Plus, the greatest part about it is that they order in ridiculous quantities. It's not a single onesie, twosies types of order or transaction. If you make a food product and you want to sell like 500 units or 1,000 units or even more than that, getting in touch with an event planner and being a vendor that they can call on when they need your product, it is a great opportunity. And it's another stream of income, okay? And to tell you the truth, almost any type of food product can be packaged or can be sold in a way that an event planner can utilize it. But there's a few things you want to keep in mind. And really quick, guys, again, if you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit the subscription button. If this is the first video that you're watching, I'm actually a food entrepreneur. I own multiple businesses online. I sell candy, snacks, and treats. My wife and I started nearly 12 years ago online. And I've been in the food business for over 25 plus years. Before that, I was in food retail. So I started this YouTube channel to teach you guys the success that I've had and the struggles and the things that I've learned along the way. And that's why I've got nearly 500 videos to show you how I did it. So in this video, like I mentioned, I'm going to get into event planners. And then the second video is actually going to be about how you can work with caterers. That is a whole nother topic and is a whole nother very lucrative way to sell your food products. So why am I talking about event planners? Well, through my Etsy shop, I've actually catered and helped out with nearly 600 plus events. Most of them are weddings. I've done actually some corporate orders through Etsy, believe it or not. Etsy has actually been a huge part of these types of sales or transactions when it comes to working with event planners. And they are not small, let me tell you. And of course, I'm not here to toot my horn, but I'm just letting you know the truth about it. Working with event planners can help you push and promote your product in like 500 to 1,000 units at a time, or even tens of thousands of units. It depends on the size of the event. The great thing is that once you begin to contact event planners and they allow you to kind of step into their vendor listing, they can utilize you as a vendor for certain events or maybe even all of the events. It depends on the product. But it's great because you can focus on running your e-commerce business, or if you sell locally, or if you're utilizing the cottage food law and you're selling locally, that's great. Maybe you're already online and you sell stuff on Amazon, your food product on eBay, whatever it may be. But this is just another idea to give you an idea to generate revenue from another stream. And when they can call upon you and say, hey, you know what, in a couple of weeks I got an event, I need like 600 of those items that you make. Can you customize it, et cetera, et cetera. That's going to give you a great another stream of revenue, okay? So how does this exactly work? And what is an event planner compared to a caterer? Okay, so an event planner is a person who actually brings together an event for a client. They're not a caterer, so they are not specifically producing a food product. They're not in the kitchen with their staff bringing together all the food to cater an event like a wedding or a big corporate event or some type of employee appreciation event, right? So caterers actually do that. Caterers will take a menu, a recipe, and create a menu around what the client needs, and they really focus on actually bringing food together, okay? But an event planner needs to bring together entertainment. They need to get the venue. They need to make sure that they have food, that they have chairs, that they have equipment, they have tables, they have serving, everything that goes with it, okay? This is why what you need to pay attention to with what I'm saying is that event planners can utilize your food product in a lot of different ways. Now, let's say, for instance, you do customize candy bags, or if you do something that's like a chocolate pretzel, or something that's like an Oreo covered in chocolate, or pretty much any type of other item, it can be used as a favor for an event. It can actually be used as part of the event. No matter how the event planner ends up using your product, the idea is to make contact with them, kind of be on that list of vendors that they can tap into when they need to. And the one thing, there's a few things you need to be aware of, and the one thing that's really, really important is flexibility when you make your product, and the customizability, the customizing of the product, okay? It could be either in size, it could be something that has a specific label, maybe it's a certain bag, but an event planner will call on you and ask you a lot of different things about, hey, you know what, your product is great, but can you put it like in a blue bag? Hey, your product is great, can you put a special label on it? So they may work with you, so you want to be flexible with how you're packaging the food product, okay? But the great thing is, as I said in the opening, is that event planning, when you're actually utilizing an event planner, they are not for small events. It's not going to be like for 20 people. Some people might actually do that, but the majority of the time, event planning companies that have a staff and have a big payroll, and they're really, either a startup or they could be a gigantic event planning company, they normally take on orders, or they take on events that's in the hundreds, or maybe even 1,000 or 5 or 10,000 or more. Okay, so keep that in mind. They're not going to call on you to say, hey, can you just make 15 or 20 of your item, and I need it to have a special label. That's not exactly how event planners normally work. That's a great thing, because for you, instead of getting a transaction, getting an order online or in person or whatever, however your business is set up now, instead of getting that 1 or 2 or 3 sales, you're going to get one sale that's going to be in the thousands. That's why it can be extremely lucrative for you to do that. Plus, the good thing is that event planners normally do multiple events all year long. So could you imagine if you had every 2 to 3 months, you've got one event from this one specific planner who calls on you and says, look, I need several thousand units of this. And then 3 months later orders it again. Now you can see how lucrative it can be working with an event planner, okay? So there's three in particular states that do a lot of business when it comes to events. And it's kind of like a common sense thing. You may be aware of this, or you may not be. From my own personal experience, I have worked with event planners from Vegas, Las Vegas, which is obviously a huge convention and a huge town for large corporate events. So keep that in mind. They do a lot of events at the hotels because they bring out a lot of their staff or their employees. And then they're there for the weekend, or maybe even for a whole week, and they're doing these seminars and such. So Las Vegas, California, and New York. These are the 3 states that if I were you, I would definitely Google, and I'll leave in the description down below how to actually Google and narrow down your search, but depending on the state you want to look into. And by the way, you don't have to be in that state. So again, you don't have to live in New York to work with an event planner who's in New York. You don't have to live in Las Vegas if you want to do business with an event planner who's in Las Vegas. You don't have to do that. That's the great thing about, obviously, the internet, being able to reach anyone, anywhere, is that you can be in another state and you can still do a heck of a lot of business creating products for event planners, okay? So I'm going through my list here. So we went over the states, the 3 states, the packaging, being flexible with your products, having the ability to kind of customize what you do to suit the needs of the event planner, okay? Now, the other thing that's really, really great is that when event planners are doing these events, in some cases, if you have a product lineup and you don't make just one item, this is where you can kind of get really creative. If you're coming out with 4 or 5 items or 5 or 6 different flavors of something, is that they have the potential to order multiple different types of items from you. So keep that in mind. The more creative you are in either the flavors that you have or the packaging or the size, any of that stuff, they have the potential to say, you know what, I need a variety of candies. Let's say you're a chocolate maker and you make a variety of chocolates in different shapes, different flavors, and etc. So what they may say is, you know what, I love the lineup. Let me get 1,000 of those, and 1,000 of those, and 500 of those. And because I've actually had an event, I've had multiple events. These were actually weddings. These weren't corporate events. Weddings where they were doing a candy bar, a table with a candy bar table. And we have obviously 400 plus items. I don't know if you're familiar with our business, but we do a lot of different stuff, from chocolate Oreos to pretzels, and a lot of hard candies and brittles and things. So they actually ordered a huge table, a variety of stuff to put out on the table. So that event was really, really good because we had the ability to offer them a variety of stuff. So keep that in mind. If you have the creativity, you have the openness and the willingness to do something more than just one single product, that's going to better your chances of working with an event planner. So I wanted to bring you guys that tip, and as always, I try to keep my videos really, really short and sweet and condensed with information without making you go to sleep, which hopefully you're not going to sleep. So in my next video, the second one I'm going to do right after this, I'm going to explain how you can work with a caterer and how that kind of slightly differentiates the business from working with an event planner, but still a great opportunity as well when you begin to work with caterers because they can buy your products, and well, I'll get into that on my next video. So if you guys like the video, as always, please do give me a big thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next video.